What's going on, everybody? I'm Tom.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Zach.
We're best friends, and you're listening to the Reminiscent Podcast. They say you can't choose your family. Well, you also can't choose which era of music you grew up in. This is a weekly show where we discuss our favorite bands from adolescence and how they continue to shape our lives today. Each week, we'll head back to the early 2000s and take a closer look at the cards we were dealt.
Hey, Tom, it's been a while.
It has been a while, Pat. I'm so sorry I left you hanging. Still a little sick, but good enough to push on.
And do you think relaxing might help?
Oh, after the coughing fit I just had before we hit record, I would love nothing more.
Well, I guess. Oh, I can hear the music.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's just ease into this one.
All right. Take a deep breath. So, you're walking under the warm Nevada sun. You're feeling the wind, the breeze blowing your hair. You are at peace as the sand from the high desert lightly whips at your fingertips.
You've been getting a lot of cardio lately. More cardio than usual, actually. But your pursuit of true peace remains unquenched. And you are finding your way through the desert on this long, long walk of yours.
As you're walking through the desert, you slowly tune into your surroundings, becoming blissfully aware of the environment around you. You hear in the distance the faint sound of falling water. Could it be a waterfall in the desert? As you start to notice more, you tune into this energy. It's almost as if you feel someone is right there with you.
And then as your senses begin to slowly sharpen and you notice your surroundings, you realize it's not a waterfall at all. It's the Hoover Dam. And you say, wait a minute. And then you turn around and you realize it's Tommy Lee Jones. And you put your hands up and you say, I didn't kill her. And he says, I don't care. And then, to avoid the impending gunshot, you jump off the Hoover Dam. And this isn't a movie, so you die. And you were pretty close to peace. You were really close. And, hey, we can't win them all, you know what I'm saying? That was a cheap one. That was the first movie based off a movie, which neither of us have actually seen, The Fugitive, so I don't even know if it was at the Hoover Dam or not. I think it's the Hoover Dam and the Jay and Silent Bob parody of that scene, but okay. I don't even know. I didn't even watch that one either. So.
Oh, God, let's start this thing.
Yeah, let's do it. What's up, man?
So before we really dive into it, we've got a little bit of news this week. A few exciting things going on. New Found Glory released a new music video in anticipation of their third cover album, From the Screen to Your Stereo Part 3.
Well, I might as well pimp the fact that we did a New Found Glory episode.
That
covers everything up to that point, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah, put a link in the show notes to that. So the video they put out is called This Is Me. It is, they're all kind of circus themed. It's kind of a fun video. And the thing that I really took away from that video was Cyrus Baluki went from like this really awkward kind of like nondescript, emotionless drummer to like a smoking hot Fred Armisen. If you haven't seen the video, it's shocking how good he looks with a little gray in his hair.
Hashtag Transformation Tuesday.
It's wild. Also, I got a text from Apple Music at 11:45 last night when I was sleeping, letting me know that Yours Truly put out a new record. I thought it was coming out Friday. It was a pleasant surprise.
That's the name of the act?
Yes, Yours Truly.
I was getting excited. I was like, Tom, whoa.
No.
The good fight reemerges.
I surprised myself with an album. Where'd
Good
this
thing
come
you were
from?
on the mailing list, or you would have slipped by.
Just a really good, like, up and coming pop rock band, pop punk. I don't really know what to call it. vocalist is great. Their drummer's so sick. I've been enjoying it. One more really important thing is that. Sorry, I thought I heard Jesse calling you in the background. I don't know if you want to go see what that is. Yeah.
Jess? I'll be right back.
Okay, we cannot let Pat know. I recently bought a vlogging camera. I'm going to become a YouTuber. We know how Pat feels about the YouTubers, so don't let him know. I don't have any more information, but some videos will be coming soon. Okay.
Hey, did I miss anything?
Yeah, so a few days ago, Blink-182, well, I guess it was Steve Aoki put out a music video featuring Blink-182, and that's what we're here to discuss today. Why Are We So Broken by Steve Aoki featuring Blink-182.
Which is, I guess we don't always delve into the past. Sometimes we do a little bit of newsiness, but this ties into anything Blink-182, or I think there's a Blink clause and a Taylor Swift clause that disrupts the early 2000s, noting music video by music video and song by song. So here we are. I think Aoki has done work with Blink in the past, or at least with Blink material, right?
Yeah.
Bored to Death, he did a remix maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, I guess it would have been about 3 years ago. I was still in Virginia when that record came out. Holy hell. Yeah. Do you have any immediate thoughts on that before we get into the new song?
Well, before we get into any of it, Blink's coming out with new music. Mark Hoppus and the lead singer of All Time Low are coming out with new music. They dropped this with Steve Aoki. So I think, they say like when you turn 60, you just kind of stop. That's when the I don't give a stuff sets in. And you're just like, wears socks with sandals, like deal with it. I'm comfortable and nothing matters. Or it's just like you stop kind of parsing what you say. It sounds like they're like in the music version of that right now. I think in this music video, the Alkaline Trio dude has just the dumbest hat on.
Oh my God.
Me. And it's just like they are dads now for sure. I was listening to a podcast with Travis Barker, and he's just a guy. I don't know. You view them as gods, and you get media nowadays, you get to peek into their lives and listen to hear them talk. I thought I would have gone through life thinking Travis was a mute or something,
Right.
But viewing them all as fathers, or Mark Hoppus' Twitter presence for that matter, like the dad jokes and all that, it's humanizing to say the least. So, and I will say this as well. I got nothing against Steve Aoki or his music. I've just never been at one of those festivals or been on drugs while hearing that music. So I just personally am not giving it the appropriate, what I assume is mindset to take that all in. So
sure,
not my speed, not my cup of tea, but I'm not here to hate on it in any way directly. It just happens to be that they cross paths with one of our favorite bands. So that's where my head's at.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's a good way to go into this. I think all of my perception changes pretty quickly once the video starts.
So I got to ask, did they both write this together, or was this Steve Aoki's like, I wrote this, do you want to play with me? Or what kind of collaboration are we talking here?
Yeah, I wasn't sure, because looking at the lyrics,
halfway through the music video, I was like, I'm not sure which instruments I'm hearing. He's just jumping a lot, and this is just jarbled. I don't know. I couldn't get a grasp on why they even had to be playing the traditional instruments in the music video.
Absolutely. So I'm looking at the songwriter credits on Google for this song. It said the songwriters are Ian James Kirkpatrick. I don't know who that is. John Feldman, who's their producer. Which I don't think is a good move, the right move for Blink. Mark Hoppus, Matt Skiba, Steven Hiroyuki,
Julian
Aoki,
Casablancas,
and Travis Barker. So it seems like they all wrote it together, but I don't know if that's just like a weird licensing thing. I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't know why I'm still a Blink apologist at this point. I really want Steve to have written every aspect of this song, and Blink just went on and performed it, because not a fan. I'll say that right now. Not a fan.
I'll say I just have one more question, or I have several. So Julian Casablancas was not involved in any way?
I don't think so.
Okay, so we're going to save any Strokes material for when we do the Strokes episode then.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry to everyone who thought we were going to cover any Strokes ground today. Julian Casablancas was not in the room for this one. No, I'm just kidding. But it seems like they're in the collaboratory phase of Blink until Tom comes back for the reunion money, right? I don't know. Like, I can only imagine so many decades of What's My Age Again. You know what I mean? Does it for you. I mean, you could put Travis in a cage and strap down and flip him around, but I don't know. Like, I'm sure they're yearning for at least something different at this point.
I mean, or just to keep the income growing. Like, are they at the point where, like you said, they just don't really give a anymore? They're going to chase the money because this is their job. Like, I think the whole like selling out argument is kind of dumb because, like, why is there this huge morality issue over bands doing things for money when most of us, probably 99% of us, go to a job doing shit we don't want to do every day in exchange for money, except, they're doing it for millions at a time.
When Bill from the Hard Times was with us, it's a good episode. You should go listen to it. I think it was the O2 mixtape draft. He was talking about some of the punk acts and things like that you could argue sold out. But he says, hey, you made me happy when I was younger. Go cash in. People rarely get paid for their art. And when they do, you should, milk it. And, thanks for giving us what you gave us type thing. I'm paraphrasing super heavily. I might be even misquoting him, but that's what I took from it.
No, that's about it. That was a good summary.
Oh, thanks, man.
But it is kind of sad to see this band that you love, like, just go down such a different path than what you were familiar with. And it's not even like, okay, Self-Titled was a little different than Neighborhoods, but like this is fundamentally a different band, a different genre.
Yeah, I think that's fair. You're saying California was a different band altogether? I'd make that argument.
I think it was like they turned at the fork in the road, but you could still see the original path they came from. But at this point with Steve Aoki, they are so far down that path, you can't even see like their roots, I feel like. If I were to come up with a metaphor on the spot.
Okay, so if there was the Pokemon level, if it was like a Pokemon and plus 44 and this version of Blink and Blink itself were the three, we're talking about like Charmander, the middle one, and Charizard. Who would be the Charizard? Who would be the Charmander? What order would you put those three in?
Oh, you're talking about evolution. Oh, well, I mean, that's just natural, chronological progression.
No, but I'm not necessarily, because Blink would have to be the Charizard, right? Tom DeLonge Blink?
Well, I mean...
This is the stupidest comparison. Let's just move on right on from it. That was a swing and a miss for sure. Because I don't even think plus 44 warrants Charmander comparison. So
do you want to get just into the video and then
let's do that instead.
We'll leave the
we could do
final
more
thoughts
Pokemon stuff
end.
if you want, but I don't know if that'd be good for the show. So.
All right. Let's dive into the video.
Set the scene for us. They're there with Steve.
They're there with Steve.
Because the remix of the song off California, Scared to Death, was pretty much just a reworking of the music video, right? That was already there. But he's there. He's like a member of this new, we're led to believe this is a new act, right? He's in front with his DJ setup and everything.
Yeah.
Wearing a jumpsuit, which is his trademark.
Right. I guess so. I don't listen to much Steve Aoki.
Probably not a trademark.
I mean, it's no sequin jacket, but
Well, hey.
So yeah, it opens up, kind of shows the band, and then we see a couple of teens looking angsty as hell,
which is a trademark of a Blink.
Sure.
Video, so we have to give them that,
right?
These are seemingly lower middle class teens who maybe a bit of an outcast. Who's
maybe
there's star-crossed lovers. I mean, who even gives a care? You know what I mean? But they're there smashing things.
Yeah, so it kind of opens up. They're doing, first of all, what I believe is the least punk rock thing in the world, putting on like full body safety equipment.
Yeah, they didn't want to risk it, right?
Like face shields, full flame retardant jumpsuits.
There's risking it for the biscuit, and then there's what they were doing, which is basically paying money to go to an escape room and break things or something. You know what I mean? Like, and then Instagramming about it. They might as well have done that in the music video.
So they're in a junkyard, and they have pickaxes or ice picks, a couple of sledgehammers, and they just start hitting stuff.
Right, and from what I could glean, or what I tried on my first watch, was like, okay, they're breaking bottles. Like, they allude to a lot of alcohol abuse, seemingly, in California. I thought that was a record about alcoholism. At least a third of it was, from what I could tell. And so I was like, okay, so they're like kind of, moving on, right? You know, the title of the song was what again?
Why Are We So Broken? Which
right. So you're like, okay, these are their vices.
Title ever.
Yeah. Well, these are their vices. They're destroying them. I get what the effort is so far. Then they smash a TV in the second verse. And you're like, ooh, going after technology, like a message about the world. # Black Mirror. But then they just start smashing fruit. And I'm like, okay, there's no there's no thread here. They were just smashing that's near them.
They're mainly concerned with the visual effects. You're right.
the least junkyard vibe ever. They brought the fruit with them to smash along with the junk. They were too well prepared to be punk in this instance.
Well, also, so my thoughts about the junkyard was, do they own this junkyard? Because I want to think they're trespassing, but, you know, for how well prepared they came,
Ooh,
I feel
maybe
like this,
they're teens working at their dad's junkyard, and this is how they blow smoke.
Possibly.
Steam. Blow steam? Yeah, they're blowing something at the end of the day, and they have to wear the jumpsuits at work anyway.
I also noticed that they have pretty consistent spray paint themes on everything they're smashing. So did they hire a graffiti artist beforehand? Did they do it themselves? Did someone come in and vandalize the entire junkyard? What was the payoff of that?
Right. I think performance art, you're like, I create and I must destroy what I create. You know, just like some people, like the one homeless dude that watches them is like getting the best show ever. Like, wow, this is moving, but I don't understand it.
It seems like a lot of effort was put into the visuals of what they were smashing, right? They had different colored water jugs.
Would you say
all
that there
lined
was
up
a
perfectly.
story to this little side set of shots other than the band and Steve Aoki just kind of jumping?
I think the story is, well, I'll just say no, but like another question is like, why are they so angry, right? So they come in, they're looking like star-crossed lovers, they start smashing, and then they're fighting with each other. So like, is the smashing of the stuff therapeutic, or is it actually harming their relationship? And then they continue to smash, and then they're like happy again. It seems like they're really working through something, but like ultimately it is the laziest attempt at a story I've ever seen in my life. Like, I mean, what is going on?
Past iterations of Blink has put teens between jail glass and tried to make them through the glass. So, I mean, that was, if we're looking at the range of what they've had teens do in their music videos, this is definitely the least amount of context or any story whatsoever.
Sure. Can we talk about Blink actually performing over what appears to be just electronic music? Like,
I would love to talk. I'll talk all day about it.
So you see Travis, who, you know, everyone knows he's like this really proficient drummer. He does all this like insanely technical work, and he's really good at like keeping the groove and not sacrificing that for the technicalities. But this song is so simplistic that it seems like he's making all of these wild motions, really upping the performance, the visuals of him playing, because the song itself is, first of all, so boring, like rhythmically, but there also doesn't appear to be acoustic drums through the majority of the song. So
or electric guitars. Can we say that
right
out of my own
so
ear?
It almost makes me think of like that Nirvana performance where they were on the Tonight Show or something, and they made them backtrack all of their instruments, so they all started like f***ing around to like prove the point that they're not actually performing and like making a joke out of it. That's almost the vibe I got from Travis, where it's like, I can't hear what you are playing, but you're really making a spectacle out of it to almost show like, I know I'm not playing. Like, I need you to know that I know.
Right. It is, I don't know if vanilla is the right word, but from the music to the name of the song to the lack of story in the video, I kind of want to get in the lyrics before I just totally erase it from my memory and never really go back to it.
Sure.
Because I think it adds context that I'm perusing them. This is a breakup song. Am I wrong?
Dude, I don't even know.
Because that would kind of explain the smashing stuff. Maybe their relationship is so toxic that they're breaking things around them, and they're also fighting with each other still. So even when they bring other people down, and they're like, why are the fissures cracking, and why are we so broken? I don't know, right? Maybe I think the lyrics might help us out. So it starts off like, I had a feeling you were trouble. The night I pulled you from the rubble. When will we release this disaster piece? Whoa.
Is that supposed to be like masterpiece?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, a little play on
man.
words. All right, Steve. Or any of the other three gentlemen in the room
Dude,
at the time, I assume.
that just seems like a middle school who just discovered poetry who thinks he's really deep.
I kind of like it. I mean, I'm not
You
hating
do
it.
like it.
That's better than people just smashing things, but like safely. You know, I don't know.
All right, tweet at the show at _reminiscent FM. What are your thoughts on the term?
What's worse about this whole experience?
Disaster.
The lyric disaster piece or putting safety goggles on in a punk music video to smash things? From the ceiling or the gutter, get my bleeding heart aflutter. Okay, this is going downhill. I can't erase the sad memories. Okay, so they are troubled. They're already broken, perhaps. Trying to figure it out. Got time on my hands.
It just seems so like lowest common denominator. I can't erase the sad memories.
Right, but here's the thing about dance music, right? Like, is it even worth the exercise to read the rest of them if we're not high on Molly in front of me or Steve Aoki's actual person on stage, just like vibing, right? Like, is it even meant to be consumed this way? And is this exercise even fair to anyone?
Fair point.
Right.
Plus, when you're comparing them against the California lyrics, they're about on par.
Oh, whoa. Care to expand, my boy?
I miss Tom. That's all I'll say.
You are Team Tom for sure. I thought California was all right.
I mean, it's fine, but you can definitely tell who held the integrity of the band together, right? Tom would never have let this happen.
Well, it depends what you mean by let this happen, because, you know, Travis's venture into hip hop and all that is like awesome, right? I don't know. Like, he explores things that are really cool. I just don't know if Mark has enough street cred to pull it off in a weird way. I don't know. Like, the way. So picture Steve. I think he's like in like a Kill Bill jumpsuit or something.
Yeah.
And he's jumping around. And again, I'm not high or there, so I don't really care. He's just jumping, and I'm just sober enough to notice how the jumps don't change. It's the same jump.
It also totally plays into that stereotype that EDM DJs like don't actually do anything. Like at one point, he puts his finger on a knob, but it's like an EQ knob. What's that going to do? You're not doing anything. You're just jumping.
Well, it's like if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? It's like if an EDM song comes out and I'm not drunk or there, does it have to entertain you or whatever? Or is it entertaining to anyone? You know, I don't know. It's like context, time, and place type stuff.
Sure.
Because me sitting in my living room, sober, drinking coffee, getting ready for this episode, I was not exactly, this didn't do it for me. Yeah. Ooh. Vibing. Yeah, I wouldn't say that this is my best Jeff Goldblum impression. Ooh. Vibing. No, maybe. It's an awful Jeff Goldblum, but
where were we? Lyrics.
The show's over. It's No. Okay, yeah. Got time on my hands. Got time to slow you down. Got time on my hands, slow you down tonight. Why are you so broken? Want to know all about you. Why are we still holding on? So it got off to a rocky start. They're breaking up probably, right? They're smashing TVs and fruit and bottles. Heard a rumor you were leaving to the West Coast, wasting no time, saying goodbyes. For the life of me, I can't find anyone to share or kill time. Oh, I want you back. My little heart attack. Wow. Okay, so she's like, deuces. And he's like, don't go. Just kidding. I pulled you out of the rubble and my heart was aflutter, motherfucker.
So the song seems, first of all, very accusatory.
Ooh, why are you so broken? Yeah, maybe it is I who's the broken one, the speaker. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe he or she, whoever is the voice of this song, needs some internal reflection on why things got this bad. You know, I'm watching this.
Tom, they pulled each other out of the rubble to begin with.
I'm watching this Australian show right now where people try to get back together with their exes. And it's really bad reality TV, but I'm kind of hooked on it. And what's interesting is some of these couples, you know, most of them don't see the problem from the other person's perspective. And that's a big reason why they broke up. They think, you know, each person thinks it was the other person that did the damage that led to the breakup. So
perception's reality.
Yeah. So I think the voice
Two
of the
sides
song
to every story
really needs to take a step back and think about what they're doing to contribute to this disaster piece.
Gotcha. Well, hey, disaster piece. Damn it. I'm going to get that tattooed.
I just Googled who Ian Kirkpatrick is, who is one of the songwriters. He has been a record producer for Selena Gomez, Pitbull, Jason Derulo, Justin Bieber, Nick Jonas, Breathe Carolina, and Plain White Tees.
You know, we have to do a Breathe Carolina episode.
That might have something to do with the vibe of this song.
Okay, so he lives in the breakup area of the Zeitgeist.
I mean, he also, I don't know if this means anything, but in the songwriter's crediting, the two producers are credited before any of the people in this act. So John Feldman is really good at writing pop songs to the lowest common denominator and overproducing the absolute shit out of them. And that's kind of exactly what this song is. I mean, if we want to talk about vocal production, holy hell, these are hardly human voices coming through my speakers. Like, I prefer a good, clean, crispy production, but this is, I don't think Mark Hoppus needs that much pitch correction to the voice where you can hear it. Like, chill out, John. Jesus Christ.
Maybe that's the MO of the dance track. I think though, is that
it was like that in all of California too, though. It was.
So you haven't been a fan lately. I feel like should be a therapy session. Let it all out. Let your Blink woes out. What's bugging you? What are you waiting for? What do you need?
I mean, I just think it's like, you know, everyone criticized Tom and they're like, oh, he broke the band up. He did this or that. But when you see the trajectory once Tom left, I think it's pretty clear who Blink was. It was Tom, right?
I would disagree in the sense that this is a new band and it shouldn't be judged as Blink. They should have gone under a different name because it's just a different enough thing. You know, they named every other project a different thing. I'm surprised they kept this one Blink, maybe for touring purposes, but.
Oh yeah, I mean, you don't want to have to like start over. I think financially it was a good move to stay Blink, but I do agree. It's a different band. It breaks my heart that, I don't know, did they ruin the legacy of Blink-182? I mean, not like they were like so punk with all this cred and whatever. They were fundamentally a pop band. But do you think that this ruins their... I mean, and again, this isn't Blink-182. This is Steve Aoki featuring Blink-182. That is a very important distinction.
I don't know, because it's starting to be that thing for me where, you know, I can only imagine our parents when they hear frickin' Slow Ride on classic rock radio or something. At some point it becomes numb and you can't really enjoy it like you did because the notes are just, you know, everything. You know, it's hard to dig back in. And It's so sad. I have like distanced myself from Enema of the State over the past 5 years so that like, you know, it's already overplayed in my head, but you know, I'm trying to wait like a decade so I can go back and revisit it someday just so it doesn't become noise, I guess. So, but how much can we really mine out of those two albums that were great and those 4 to 5 that were very good? And I don't know. You know, Alexa or Siri or whoever runs the fucking shuffle on the iPhone, Apple Music, whatever, keeps playing songs from their self-titled. And I'm so rarely in that mindset anymore that it's like, I'm good on the down. I don't want to hear down. It's like I just having cereal. Like nothing too drastic going on this end. So,
everything's pretty comfortable.
Fine. Right. Find some Jenny Lewis or something and just ease into the morning instead. But I don't know. It's weird. What do you do? What are you supposed to do with your childhood? The bands you liked, right? I mean, but it's weird because Blink was head and shoulders above all of them, but now they're just kind of blending all in together to whatever our version of classic rock radio would be. And it's kind of sad, I guess. Mostly, is that what we're trying to admit to ourselves?
I guess so.
Especially,
I mean,
it's like it's one thing to have that age and be in our own minds, but then for them to be doing shit with Steve Aoki, it's like, okay, now you're just making it, now you're just rubbing it. Now, okay, yeah, this took it to a whole different thing.
Yeah, I mean, I wish Blink died after self-titled.
Well, I mean, they named every other side project a different thing. I'm just kind of shocked when Skiba came in that it was the same. You know, it just shocked me a little bit. Like it could have just been this new band, and to me that's not a Blink record. So,
well, also, you know, Megan said something that I really felt similarly. she said that Skiba, or she just calls him New Guy because she doesn't know his name. I think she refuses because she's a big Blink fan too, or was in the day. So she almost doesn't acknowledge that this is Blink, as you mentioned. She said the way he just kind of drips with confidence is really weird because like he is not Blink-182. Like he comes into this band that has 20 years of success and fame as this new guy, and he has this weird confidence like, oh, this is this thing that I built from the ground. Like, dude, get to the back of the screen and just kind of blend in. And like, I kind of feel that way too.
I mean, he was an Alkaline freaking Trio. I mean, he's not a nobody. I mean, he's allowed to be confident, but that's why I'm surprised. Like when I went to see them live and Skiba was there, it's weird. They covered I even say covered. But like, why even, like, it's almost like half the set list was Tom heavy tunes, which to me is like, why even do this? Why do it? Right. Yeah. I mean, cover some Blink songs that are Mark heavy as your new band, that's fine. But it's weird to be Blink and have him sing Tom parts. Like, nobody sounds like Tom, so it's not going to work no matter who. Maybe Gilbert Godfrey would be the right signing for some kind of weird nasally goofy voice, but I might be getting the name wrong, but I believe that's who voiced Iago in Aladdin. I mean, I've got Aladdin on the brain because of the trailer that dropped. But anywho, yeah, I don't know, just weird. I think I hear, is that radio? Somebody tuning in? Perhaps our friends up north?
Oh, yeah. I think I hear that too. So what you think of Steve Aoki?
Yeah, he's all right. He's no dead mouse, but yeah, he's all right.
He's all right.
Well, good input as always from our sister station in Winnipeg.
They really like keeping it Canadian up there.
They keep it short. They no wasted breaths, no wasted movements for sure. Maybe they're just trying to stay warm.
Not once to embellish, yes, keeping the energy to keep that core temperature.
Saving the energy to defend themselves from the degens from upcountry. How are you now?
Peter Patter. All right, so before this gets really off the rails, final thoughts on the video, the lyrics, Blink doing these weird collaborations.
Well, this ended up being a Blink therapy session, which I don't mind. But I don't mind. I mean, other than them not naming this new portion of their careers something other than Blink, I think I'm good with all of it. It's just not my that's pretty much it.
Okay.
And I would ask you to I would ask anyone, including you, specifically you, to view it in the same breath. Just like pretend it's plus 45 or something, because it's not Blink and it doesn't have to be, and you don't have to feel sad about it. They're just dads trying to remain relevant. I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess it does kind of feel like this desperate attempt to stay relevant. And again, like Bill said on that episode, they're just making their money like we're all trying to do.
Yeah, rake it in. They gave us, Enema of the State and Take Off Your Pants Jacket and Dude Ranch and everything else that we love. But those two specifically, just crazy albums front to back that were important and got us through a lot of bus rides. So cash in. I don't have to listen to it. It's not hurting anybody. I'm sure if one day I'm doing heavy drugs and five rows back from Steve Aoki ripping it up at some festival, I'll report back to the show and say, you know what? Or what's that Aziz Ansari bit? He goes to Bonnaroo for the first time and he's like, Sonic Forest, that's stupid. And then like 6 hours later, he's on Molly and he's just like, Sonic Forest, I totally get you now. Just like, so yeah. I mean, I'm here in my living room drinking coffee, so there's perhaps we are not in the right mindset to try to understand.
Sure. Well, let's move on from this to some songs we actually have been enjoying this week. You want to hit me up with the song of the week?
Let's do that thing where I pull it up on my phone while you give yours first.
Okay.
Which is every time I'm never prepared.
John. So I discovered a DJ. His name is DJ Quads, that does some lo-fi hip hop. He makes royalty-free music that you can put in your vlogs or podcasts. Since I am a podcaster and nothing else, you can use it for free. He makes some really good tunes. There's a song called "It Just Makes Me Happy" by DJ Quads. super good. Do want to give some shout outs to yours truly that just put out an album. My boy Heath McNeese dropped a record called Be Clean Again the other day. And Stand Atlantic, I just discovered them from Hopeless Records, and all those are very good, but my official song of the week is It Just Makes Me Happy by DJ Quads.
Okay. I'm going to keep on my string of female artists and female-fronted musical acts and bands. I'm going to say Laura Stevenson. She's got a new album coming called The Big Freeze. A couple tracks available off that. Value In or Living Room New York. Yeah, she's great. And so is Maggie Rogers and Jenny Lewis and Snail Mail and Charlie Bliss. And yeah, that's been my last calendar year, I think. A lot of good stuff. Anyway.
Oh, same. I mean, Stand Atlantic and yours truly are both female-fronted bands, and just let's so make good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Really I'm on a tear.
Yeah, for real. I can't get enough. I keep trying to find. I mean, obviously, this show pretty much. We spent the first 90 episodes talking about Julian Baker lyrics, so that's the theme of the show for sure.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's what I've been up to. You've sold a few copies of Ron Carnage. How do you feel, old boy?
I feel pretty good, old boy. I would definitely love to sell a few more, but we don't really have the audience to sell to. You know, it's called a warm audience, people that are already excited for your product. We've got, a few people on here that have bought it. We're very, very grateful.
Yeah, thanks to the crew. If you are joining us for the first time, just type in Ron Carnage to Amazon, download the free Kindle app, spend $2 on the ebook, and hopefully it'll entertain you on a flight someday. But
we do have paperback versions though that are much nicer.
I mean, like realistically, go spend the $2 if you're hearing this. Then honestly, or enter the lottery. Up to you. One of the two.
I'll tell you what, man. We have sold 4 times more paperback versions than ebooks.
Right, that's better for us. But I'm saying it's better for them if they just get the free app and download.
It depends on how much you value an experience versus.
I'm just saying, if I were the listener, I'd be like, well, I could spend $20 for the shipping and all that and get the book. And our hardcore fans have done that, and obviously we appreciate it. But if you're just like a casual fan, or you're just joining us because you're thought we were going to be really positive about Steve Aoki this whole time or something, and you just don't listen to the show, if you have $2, then it could. This is the other version of things is a pretty easy. And again, you've all been there. You're traveling. You've run out of podcasts. You've run out of this. You tried audiobooks, but it's nope. And yeah, you're just okay, fine. I'll read some words, whatever. And it's a pretty low risk investment, I say.
Yeah. I did a full read of this story on Facebook Live. Sat there for 4 hours straight and read this book. And I got to tell you, man, before that, I've only read it in 2 sittings. But reading it all straight through, it's a very enjoyable book.
You posted to Facebook about it recently. Your new theories, your new fan theories.
Just today. Yeah. I mean, every time I read this, we kind of thought it was just this book that was supposed to be funny, supposed to make you laugh, but I'm actually learning from it. So that kind of snuck up on me, but I love it. I'm a big fan. We're, going to start moving on to the, I guess, pre-production process of the sequel. But for right now, I have a phone call at 5:00 with a guy who's offering a social media marketing mentorship. So I'm going to try to sell a couple 100,000 copies of this book. But
yeah, sure. Yeah,
build an audience. So
yeah, build an audience.
But it's been really fun. It feels really cool to.
Oh, by the way, when I walked away from the mic, did you anything I missed there or?
No, man, I just stayed in absolute silence.
Absolute silence. Cool. Well, there's no reason for me to question that. Next week, we'll probably we'll go back and do time travel like we normally do. We got a couple. Well, tweet at us. We've been thinking about doing the Baha Men. We've been thinking about doing Evanescence. We've been thinking about doing the White Stripes finally, and doing some of the bands that did have street cred at the time. Probably not the Strokes next week. We might get to them, but we'll see. The Strokes, as you know, it's a whole thing. It's a complicated. How do you even do them justice, right? So, yeah, tweet at us with sorry to the one listener who asked for Incubus, and I keep trying to think of ways to do Incubus justice because none of us listen to them. I thought about doing a soundtrack battle where we pick a movie and try to justify which soundtrack was better with no real rules for the discussion. That idea came about just because I was looking up Incubus, and found out it was on the Little Nicky soundtrack. And I just was trying to come up with a desperate plea to talk about the Little Nicky soundtrack because it has POD on it and that is just so funny to me. Like, damn it, what a weird time, which is the whole crux of the show. So it got me all excited for the next month or two of shows we're going to do. We're going to get Zach back. In June, we're going to do a nice in-person road trip version. You and Zach are coming to Cincy. We're going to drive up for our 10-year high school reunion, so that should be an absolute blast. And maybe we can squeeze a few shows out of that visit instead of just one, give ourselves a break or something. But anywho, tweet the show at _minutes. Just find us. I can't say it. I can't even bring myself to say it. Anyway, apologies to Steve Aoki and Blink and everybody involved. Just not for us, I guess, right?
Sure.
I don't know. Okay.
Just not for us.
Well, I love you, man, and I'll see you here, same time, same place next week.
All right, love you too, dude. See ya.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you haven't bought Ron Carnage, the Thinker Boy yet, go to whoisroncarnage.com/buy to pick it up. For those of you that have, cannot begin to thank you enough. This has been such a weird, crazy journey. If you have it in you to leave a review on Amazon, that'll be really helpful to get us on the charts there. And apologies to Blink for everything. We still love you, but oh God. Anyways, talk to you next week. Love you all. Bye.
No, she's still asleep, I think.
All right, don't tell Pat. Oh, sorry. I don't know what I heard then.
Oh, dude. I forgot about the bit. I went outside.
Were you being serious?
Yeah, I was like, maybe she needs something. I totally forgot that we were. You had me worried. I was like, I hope she's okay.